Hey there ladies and gents, Trans here again, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you guys an overview on the most recent and largest update for ARK Survival Evolved. This is update number 216.0-1, and it added and changed a ton of things in the game. If you haven't been playing this recently, took a little hiatus to wait for some new things to be added, this is a great time to get your feet wet, get back into the game, and see some of the new stuff. Now, I'm going to try to give you guys a spoiler-free-ish introduction into this update. There's a ton of stuff, and I'm just going to talk about it while playing some ARK in the background and pop up some of the things on the screen that I'm going to be talking about. I'm not going to show you guys the animations, the tooltips, or anything like that, just a general overview to make it as spoiler-free as possible so you guys can experience the things firsthand in the game for yourself. But hopefully I can get you interested so you can get back into the game. So, the first thing that was added were 2 new biomes in the game. That's right, 2 completely new zones were reworked from existing areas in the game. We've got a snow biome and a swamp biome. As you can see on the map here, the snow biome is going to be in the northwestern mountain area of the game, and the swamp biome will actually take up a fair portion of the southern part of the map. It's going to focus in the shallow river areas though. So wherever that general river system is, you see the green there, that's going to be the new swamp biome. Now, what about these biomes? What do we need to look out for? Well, the snow biome, as you can all guess, is going to be extremely cold. The temperatures will be very, very low, and I do not recommend going there without a full fur gear set. That is a new set of gear that I'll be covering a little bit later in this video, but do not attempt going in there without a fur set. And also I would recommend a mount. The general danger level in the zone is approximately to the mid to high areas. You're going to be expecting a lot of resistance, but it's not going to be too dangerous that you're going to need to bring out your big guns. I would just go in there with a little bit of protection, maybe a few dilos and a raptor or 2. Then, the resources available in this zone are the land oil deposits, which is fantastic, no more having to dive way deep into the ocean to pick up oil. These are going to be close to the shore and near shallow waters. There's also going to be silica pearls available in these waters. Fur pelts will also be available from the wolves, elk, mammoth, and saber spawns in this area. There are also harvestable arctic bushes and harvestable fallen trees. The snow biomes will also have an abundance of crystals to farm, so you won't have to go to the top of mountains or be near metal-rich veins to pick these bad boys up. Next up are the enemy spawns in this area. I say enemies, but dinosaur and the little creatures. So we're expecting direwolves, megaloceros, the elks, the mammoths, saber-teeth, and a ton of Rex. There is a very high Rex count in this game, and you're also going to have a general random assortment of dinos, but these are going to be the main spawn, so the wolves, elk, mammoth, saber-tooth, and Rexes. Then, last but not least, the new terrain and weather in this zone. The ground will be snow-covered, and there will be falling snow, so some of your vision will be obstructed. There's also going to be blizzards in this area instead of rain. As you know, there's rain in most of ARK in some of the nights. But instead of getting rain in this area, you're going to have torrential blizzards, so it's going to be even harder to see. Then, there are going to be glacial shards rich in the oil veins, there's going to be beautiful looking rich glacial valleys, icicles, and stalagmites made of ice. There's also a ton of new rock formations and snowy arches in this zone. Next up is the swamp biome. Now this is practically a full 180 from what the snow biome is going to be, with extremely hot temperatures and a extremely high danger level. The spawns in this biome are going to be the Bezelbufo, the Titanoboas, the Sarcosuchus, the Megapiranhas, the Maganueras, the Titanomyrmas, and Spinosaurs. Also, there's going to be a lot of Paraceratheriums and a high assortment of carnivorous spawns and, as always, an assortment of random dinos. Wow, say all of those spawns 5 times really fast. And then, the resources in the zone are going to be a lot of new harvestable bushes, rare poisonous plants and flowers, and new ways of acquiring cementing paste by using the tameable frogs. These are the Bezelbufos in the game. If you use this Bezelbufo, or frog, I'm just going to keep calling it frog from now on, to kill a certain amount of, I believe, Maganieras in the game, you're going to be able to get cementing paste in its inventory, which is fantastic, an easier way to get a very high demand material. Then, we move on to the new terrains in this system. We're going to be looking at a lot of shallow river systems, so the zones in the game already had shallow rivers, but we're going to be expecting a little bit easier shallow, or more shallow systems where we can walk in and less swimming to do, and of course it's going to be all revamped into swamp-like territory. There's going to be floating green algae patches, cedar trees, mangrove trees, and of course more new rock formations, more river-cut valleys, and a massively high density of trees. So just picture the dirtiest, grimiest, most dangerous hot swamp you can think of. That's pretty much what's going to be extending from the eastern coastline over to the midwestern coastline. So next up are the new creatures that are added into the game. I've already mentioned this a few times, it's the Beezle Bufo, the giant frog in the game. This guy is a very passive creature, but will attack you if it is provoked. It is also draining stamina per hit it does on you. When you kill it, it's going to give you some meat and some hide. This guy is a carnivore, and you need to tame it with meat or scorpion kibble. You can also grab a saddle for it at level 20 with 16 engram points. What it can do now is pretty fantastic. It has a huge leap if you press the space button. The left click attack is just a straight attack in front of it, and the right click attack is an AoE attack around it. And as I mentioned earlier, if you kill the little dragonfly, the Magoniera dudes, and the Titanomyrmas with this guy, it will generate cementing paste in its inventory. Freaking awesome. Pick one of these guys up if you haven't. He is an awesome late game mount to have. Next up is the Megaloceros, the giant elk in the game. Now this guy is also passive, but instead of attacking you when provoked, he's just going to get the hell out of there. He will flee and he is quite fast, so you're going to want to make sure you're going to be able to down him before he can get away. If you do want to kill this guy and harvest it, you're going to get meat, fur pelts, which is a new material, and hide. This guy is a herbivore, and you're going to want to tame him with berries. And this guy does need a saddle, which is unlocked at level 30 with 20 engram points. Now, what's the benefit of having a giant elk on your team? Well, he is a fantastic cold weather mount. He can scale the mountainsides and rocks with ease, he can do quick succession jumps with the spacebar, and he also has a left click headbutt which causes temporary bleed effects on the targets. He does not have a secondary attack though, there is no right click function, only a left click headbutt. Alright, so next up is the Direwolf. This guy is extremely aggressive, he is a pack hunter, and the pack is led by an alpha, and he will attack you very quickly and with much damage. So you're going to want to approach this guy with extreme caution, but if you do manage to kill a couple, you're going to be harvesting meat, fur pelts, and hides just like the last creature. But unlike the last creature, he is a carnivore, so you're going to want to tame him with either meat or carno kibble. Now, this guy does not have a saddle in the game, but don't fret, he is immediately rideable. You do not need to put a saddle on this bad boy to ride him into battle. Just tame him, hop on him, and you are ready to go. Fan-freaking-tastic, less work for us. So, what is he useful for? Well, one, aside from being badass, being a direwolf and all, he is an excellent cold weather attack mount. You can hop on him and just go through the snow biome and kill everything in your path. It is fan-freaking-tastic. You can also ride the alphas. If you can manage to tame one, that is awesome. Now, a quick little thing that might be added into the game later is that if you have a tamed alpha, you will actually make the other direwolves in your pack better and more calm. You could potentially tame its whole pack, but there is no definitive proof that the alpha will be doing anything yet, just a little bit of, speculation to that point. Alrighty. Next up, he is extremely fast and he has a good jump. His left click attack is a regular bite attack and the right click is a howl. Now, this could play a big part if you tamed an alpha because the howl could potentially be a rallying cry for the other direwolves that you currently own. Let's hope that gets put into the game because sure as hell, I know I'm going to try to tame an alpha and ride a pack of these bad boys into battle. So we've talked about the biomes, and we've talked about the new creatures, and we've talked about one of the harvestable materials from them is the fur pelt. So what is that for, really? Well, this is added in because of the new snow biome. Since you need a lot of insulation to go up there, the fur pelt is going to be your best bet. I would actually recommend having a full fur pelt set before going into the snow biome, otherwise you will be dealing with some cold issues. So let's take a look at this armor. All of these pieces have 40 armor and 120 durability at their base stats if you learn their engrams. They are unlocked at level 25 and will give you different hypothermic and hyperthermic readings. The chest piece and leggings will give you 65 hypothermic insulation and negative 30 hyperthermic. The cap will give you 52 hypothermic and negative 25 hyperthermic. The gauntlets will give you 34 hypothermic, negative 10 hyperthermic, and that is the same for the boots, 34 hypo and negative 10 hyper. So I would definitely avoid wearing these in the swamps or hotter biomes because you are just going to melt. But if you are going to some of the colder top mountain areas or the snow biome in particular, you definitely want a full set of this. Now, it's not very expensive. You will need a handful of pelts, some metal ingots, hide, and fiber to craft it, but they are not too high in numbers. The only thing that you're going to really need to farm out is the pelts, but those should not be too much of a problem. Now next up, a couple of cool furniture items were added into the game as well. At level 10, for 6 engram points, you're going to be able to unlock a wooden chair. This will cost 30 wood, 18 thatch, and 14 fiber to craft. Then at level 15, you will unlock the wooden bench at 10 engram points, which will be craftable for 120 wood, 55 thatch, and 45 fiber. Not too bad, get a couple of cool wooden furniture sets for your house. Fantastic, a great start to what we can expect to be a hugely awesome customizable base feature. Next up is something we've all been kind of wanting. I know I've wanted this, a basic gravestone. At level 15 for 8 engram points, 70 stone and 8 cementing paste, you'll be able to craft a gravestone. Now, as sad as this is, I do want to put a couple of these around for my very first mounts that unfortunately sacrificed their lives to save mine in a couple of situations. This is a great little thing to put into your base, just for some fun, you know. Remember the mounts you've lost. Poor Cynthia, poor April, my raptors, they fought well, they died bravely, they will be remembered. Well, next up is the frog saddle, or Beezle Bufo. I knew I wouldn't say it. I don't want to say it, but it's kind of cool, Beezle Bufo. Well, his saddle is craftable at level 20 for 16 engram points. It's going to cost you 170 hide, 95 fiber, 30 wood, 5 cementing paste, and it will provide you 25 armor, 8 weight, and has 50 durability. Pretty standard. Next up is the Megaloceros saddle at level 30 for 20 engram points. This is a little bit more pricey at 200 hide, 110 fiber, and 5 metal ingots. And it has 25 armor, 12 weight, and 50 durability. Frickin' awesome. What a hell of an update, am I right? Everybody should be excited to get back into this and play it some more. I'm expecting this to be one of the ending updates before the game is fully released. This is a ton of content and lays down some pretty awesome groundwork for future updates to be adding more things in. This also gives modders a huge opportunity to mess with some more values in the game, maybe create their own furniture styles, and gives them even more templates for creatures to work with, adding multiple different abilities and things like that. Freaking fantastic. I hope this helps you guys out. I hope it wasn't too spoilery. I really don't want to ruin any of the in-game, you know, magnificence or majesty, anything like that for you guys. Well, anyway, remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed and would like future videos like this, and I will see you in the ARK.